So good. I'm here with Audiopunks in my studio in Beechwood Canyon in Los Angeles. I'll pull up this session. I was just playing around with the Audiopunks plugins earlier on an old session. And I guess the story behind this session is that I made a bunch of music for Laura Kana maybe in like 21 or 22. And, I was in Conk, beautiful studio in London that I've used a lot. So we've got Nathan Allen on drums, amazing drummer. I used to play for Amy Winehouse and has played on all the kind of Joy stuff for me and, Salt and Cleo Soul and so many other recordings. Amazing player. In fact, all these musicians kind of played on that kind of stuff. And then we've got Graham Godfrey on percussion, Alex Bonfanti on bass, Sam Best on piano, and Steve Pringle on keys, Michael Jablonka on electric guitar. As I say, this is a good sort of first day rough balance. This is kind of raw at the moment, so that's why I thought it would be cool to try some stuff on, because I really haven't done any post-production on this, and I can hear definitely some of the, all the Audiopunk stuff being really suiting this kind of stuff. So I'll just start with playing around with drums. So this is like the raw kit. And instantly I'm like, okay, we could take this in like a sort of springy direction, a saturated spring direction. Instant. So maybe just take the decay down a little bit. Kind of fun. And start to bring in the other channels. Bit more saturation, great. I think like most people are just, super saturation is kind of the #1 game for vibe. So I'm gonna pull up the Spectra 610, which I was just playing with earlier, and it sounded sick. Let's see what we can get out of this on after the Telefunken, because I think that's gonna be a good vibe. So adding in the Telefunken, great. Instant Motown, instant vibe. Let's play around with the Spectrasonics. Bring the output down a little bit. See what happens when you slam. Fucking great. Great pump. Trim it back a little bit. See what fast release is cool. Pumping. Maybe I'll mix it back a little bit, just blend it in a bit more. 1 sec. All right, sounds fucking great. Let's do some percussion. Basic percussion kind of sound, congas. I think we'll probably let's put the Spectra on again. And then I'll probably try this Echo Plate, which I think was, instant. You're getting that EQ lift as well, which is what these old boxes do so well. You're getting that sort of presence and that bite from it, which is people think how we use compression is about leveling out, and it does have a purpose in that sense, but most of us at this point, we'll use really clean plugins to do the sort of control, but actually all this kind of stuff, like the Spectra stuff or any of the kind of vibey stuff, we're much more doing it for textural reasons or sonic reasons than we are doing it for leveling reasons, These would have been designed originally to control levels, but actually they've got so much character that we just kind of go into that. So instantly, that just sounds like it's got more attack to it, more presence, more bite. Look, if I go, it's like dead. And then now we've got some fucking vibe. We got the Spectra on there. Let's put some plate on as well, so. Instant, great. So let's see how that sounds with the drums. I love putting reverbs before compressors because it really pulls like the tail of the reverb out, you know? Great. All right, let's check some bass. I'm just gonna mute the other one, just do the amp on its own. So let's see. So that's a nice, clean, easy tone. This is actually Alex playing my 1958K through an Ampeg B15. This is an absolute killer. Don't go and buy it because it's a secret. So let's just put some sounds up on and see what that does. Okay. Okay, instantly just this one, PSA default, just feels like it's got more body to it immediately, so I'm just gonna play, I'm gonna work from here a little bit. Make it kind of dubby, I think. It's gonna sound cool, I think. Sounding cool. Let's try with the drums and perk. Sounds great. I'm gonna go to do something weird on the Hammond. The Hammond's kind of doing great in the mix right now. It's kind of overlooked. I think we can make this much more interesting. So I'm gonna try the tape eater. So cool. Push the input more. So cool. Maybe I'll just do a bit of automation on this quickly. Just do some of that bend shit. I love things that are just like, you know, like push things out of the key and just sort of, you know, I think we've got these 12 notes in Western music and it's great, you know, and obviously we're using analog instruments, so we're already kind of bending between those notes oftentimes, but you know, especially with existing parts, whether it's in mix or post-production or whatever, you know, I love just like sometimes, you know, it's like the pitch bend on the keyboard, just sometimes just pushing people out of their comforts a little bit, you know, like making people take a breath in. That's all the human shit, and I think, you know, that kind of stuff and just those subtle bits of automation and why plugins like this are great, because it just suddenly gives you this ability to kind of break it out of this kind of linear thing, you know, and sort of give it some more texture and modernize in some way, you know, as well, because we had more limitations back then. You know, there are ways to do it. You could speed up and down the tape machine and some of that, but this is so instant. It just immediately, I'm like, oh, I could stick this on tons of things just to kind of give it that little bit of like, I hate the word ear candy, but it kind of ear candy. So, all right, let's see what that sounds like with everything in. Sounds great. Let me just try this other one as well. Let's see what Buenos gives us. So again, sort of looking at this. Turn this up a little bit. Sick. I love plugins that you just can flick through presets and you just get it. People are like, you can't use fucking presets and shit. Like, I'm like, listen, the more things I've got, I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Let me just flick through that one plugin and find something that, you know, we craft our sound bespoke for everything, but we all need a few plugins that we can just go and get instant vibe from, and this is sick for that, so. It's great. Sweet. Instant vibe. Let's do the piano. You can hear the drum bleed in the piano. We recorded it all in one room, so there's bleed on everything. I love that shit. You know, everyone wants to just like track separately and get isolation, man. Don't be scared of bleed. It's where you get all the vibe from, man. Like, seriously. If you hear the room mic on the drums, Here we go. I'm just going to solo that a second. You can hear the Hammond, you can hear the percussion, you can hear the drums, you can hear all of it in one. Having that as a bed for the whole sound it's why everyone should just, you know, get people recording in a room, learn how to mic it, experiment, have fun, be fucking bold, saturate your preamps, all that kind of shit. So we got a nice piano sound. We can definitely get this sounding cool. People get worried about like things saturating. I think it, you know, when it fits, it's really great. I mean, that plugin's brought a little bit of kind of breakup into it. You know, again, if we were in the 60s or 70s, man, that would be part of the sound. All the sound we respond to that we love of those old records, it's all over that stuff. I think, you know, again, people can get sucked into the internet of thinking that everything has to be this pure thing. It's like, of course we want to record things high quality, but, you know, don't be afraid to be heavy-handed, man. Young people who are getting into producing or mixing, I think they see all of us lot who are doing it for a living as if we're kind of scientists. And I think a lot of my peers that talk about audio kind of talk like we're scientists. And I guess there's some truth in that, but I would heavily encourage a much more heavy-handed approach personally. That's my vibe. So I'm just going to take a little bit of low end out of this as well. Just filter it a little bit. So nice. Bit of high pushing into that spectrum. Really nice. And then let's see a bit of plate as well. I love that saturation. Like, some people would freak out at that. I'm into it. Echo plate. That sounds like a real plate. So good. Bring in some perk under that, see what that sounds like. I could print a version like this easily. So good. I'm just gonna see what happens if I just bring my one favorite mic on drums in, which is this one here. It's like I use the RCA 77 on drums. That's kind of my whole drum sound a lot of the time. That's one mic. Let's put the kick as well. This is just two mics on the drums now. I'm almost tempted to do some like 60s panning. Let's put the drums on the left and the bass on the right or something. Let's just try that. Narrow a little bit because it's a bit too intense. Let's do this. Put the Hammond back in. Now I'm thinking, now I've widened stuff, maybe I'll narrow the Hammond again. So I'm going to take off the Buenos and just narrow it all down a lot. Just to kind of like give that front to back. Don't forget about mono, man. Have mono elements because that'll give you that back to front kind of thing. All right, not last and not least, let's just put this guitar in and do some real fucked up shit with this guitar. Where have we got this? Let's have a look. So we got this cool guitar sound. Michael Jablonka, he's always making amazing sounds, man. So we've got this kind of spaghetti western vibe. Let's really fuck this up and do some shit with it. So immediately, let's just do Sans Amp. So a trick I love to do when I'm panning something hard to the right or hard to one side is I like to put a reverb on the other side. It's a very old school trick. So let's do the plate. One way to kind of connect the sort of spaces. One is to record all in one room, because when you pan stuff, then you still got a bit of bleed coming through the other side. And that's why all those 60s records like don't sound crazy, even though they're panned so wild, because there's a connection with all the instruments. If you've got a dry over here, just put a reverb over here, and then you've got, it kind of beds it into the track. So let's hear this. So I'm gonna chuck this into the reverb. Sick. Let's do one other fun thing, I think. Let's just do something like... So good. I'm a massive, massive flanger fan, so anything that has some sort of like phasey flange vibe, I'm always into it. The dry guitar to the right, the plate to the left, and then the Buenos doing its kind of crazy shit. I love it. Very cool. Let's put everything in. I've got a rain sound effect I put in there that's really cool. Let's just put some Buenos on that as well. So sick. There we go. It's been really nice hanging out with the Audiopunks guys and them coming into my studio. Yeah, I look forward to breaking down some other future records I'm working on. And yeah, big up Audiopunks. They make incredible sounding software. So.